This is Super Contra 3 for the Super Nintendo, played for Dectalon's Hard Games thread on Something Awful. This is maybe one of my favorite games. I played a lot of it in high school. I think it's really well done, it's really fast-paced, action-packed, meant to be played on hard difficulty, and it takes place 3 years after the original Contra. Red Falcons come back to Earth. Does anybody really give a shit about the story of Contra? I honestly, I can't bring myself even to talk over this awesome intro. That is just great, I'm sorry. Alright, let's go on to hard difficulty. We're not going to die in this run, but you can only get the game's best ending and see all the bosses on hard. So, let me start with why I love this game. It's this car right here, okay? That car only appears here, and it only exists to be blown up. Contra hits the ground running, and I don't have a lot of time to talk about things, except I got a barrier power-up, as you can see what that is, really. It's our first weapon pickup, that I got anyway. It's the laser. It has a pretty slow rate of fire, it's pretty strong, and it's not great for this section, so I'm switching back to the standard machine gun, which is pretty overpowered. If you're wondering how I'm doing that, if you look in the upper left, Contra 3 is the first game to give you multiple weapon slots, so you can switch back and forth between two weapons, and if you die with one, you lose the one you have selected or active. Anyway, the thing I just killed is a callback to the first Stage 1 boss in Contra 1. It had the sniper, the two cannons. We'll be seeing another one of it soon. There's another thing that only appears once in the game, is this awesome tank that lets you just barrel through everything. On the lower difficulties, it's pretty much invincible. Here, though, it can't be killed. So anyway, that's another Stage 1 end boss down from the first game, that is. We also get these bombs, which pretty much clear the screen. I don't really like using them, just because they feel a little cheap. And another barrier to go through these fire traps quick. If you're playing two-player, this is a problem, because there's only one invincibility barrier, so the other player can screw over the other one. Whatever. Here's another mini-boss. This one I think is original to Contra 3. One thing I'm doing, by the way, you can also take both your weapons by holding L and R and select them, and you can see my character did a somersault shooting them. Anyway, that's another mini-boss down. He wasn't dangerous at all. He doesn't go back far enough to kill you, and you can see his arc of fire is pretty wide. This is the homing missile weapon. It is absolutely terrible. It's weak as shit. It tracks enemies kind of randomly. It's completely unreliable. So we'll switch to a much, much better weapon, the Crush Gun. This is probably the most powerful weapon in the game. It's got a slow rate of fire, the range isn't great, but it'll pretty much wreck all the bosses. Not that plane has set this whole city on fire for some reason or another. I don't know if that was our forces or what. Let's go. Oh! Let's go past this fireball, or this volcano of small fireballs. These big fireballs, you can destroy them on the lower difficulties. You can kind of see they take damage, but on hard, you can't kill them, even though it looks like you can. Moving on. There's a spread gun in there we could get. I'll show the spread gun off later. It's pretty good in Contra 3. It was much better in the NES original Contra, but I don't know. For me, for my money, I like the Crush Gun and to hold on to the default weapon, which is just so overpowered. So it's time for the first boss. We're going to be seeing this boss again someday in Contra Shattered Soldier. We'll see the back of him, which is a giant bloody face, which is disgusting. But anyway, this boss is a nightmare to record. He has 4 attacks, and he would only ever show me 3 of them every time I tried. That's his main one. This boss is pretty good at zoning. He'll keep you off the middle platform with that Breath of Fire attack. And then he'll shoot out these wasps, but mostly cover the top platform. On hard difficulty, his heart, as you can see, which is his weak spot, shoots these bullets, and that ends up being the most dangerous part about him. If he shoots his fire beam and you're trapped under it, you don't have any room to jump over the bullets, so don't get trapped. You can also destroy his little wasp nest on his back on lower difficulties, but again, not on hard. He has one more attack where he shoots maggots that fall to the ground, but, you know, frankly, it's kind of a boring attack, so let's just move on and do a victory pose by holding L and R. God, I love this game.